The words I love to say into a microphone. I told you so. Okay, I knew this was going to happen. How many times? Oh my gosh, this thing could go into the summer.
What a thick limb you're going out on.
No.
Hey.
This could go into the summer. The 49ers might swoop in. Rodgers might change his intentions. He might retire. He might do this. He might. No.
That wasn't on the table.
The opposite of yes, no, and now we finally got yes.
Yes.
It was going to happen, and it was going to happen before the draft. And it has. And that watched pot finally boiled over about an hour and a half after we said goodbye yesterday. And we say hello to the former number 12 of the Green Bay Packers and the apparent new number 8 of the New York Jets. Because Aaron Rodgers is going back to school. Thornton Mellon style. Little triple Lindy wearing his old Cal number. Diving into the New York Jets pool, which, as we all know, is filled with riptides everywhere. You have no idea. And that's normally for the ocean. But nothing ever makes sense with the Jets. Ever makes sense with the Jets. And I was saying all along, do not give up your first overall pick this year for Aaron Rodgers. And the holdup apparently was that Woody Johnson wouldn't give up a first-round pick next year unconditionally. And word comes down, here's the deal. Yeah, 5th-round pick comes to the Jets, 6th-round pick goes to the Packers, whatever. The real information here, although you can't say whatever. I mean, 5th and 6th round picks can turn into somebody significant. The Jets and Packers swap spots in the first round this year. It's just 2 spots. Jets move down 2, Packers move up 2. Interestingly enough, who's sandwiched in between? The Patriots. And then a 2nd round pick this year, 42nd overall. Interestingly enough, the better of the 2 2nd round consecutive picks that the Jets have. The one they got from Cleveland for the Elijah Moore trade. And then the mother lode. A 2nd round pick next year that becomes a 1st round pick if Rodgers plays 65% of the snaps this season. And I proffer to tell you this. If he doesn't play 65% of the snaps this season, there's something very wrong. And you'll see too much Zach Wilson, which is what this is all about. I understand that is a nice chunk of draft capital, and this does. I mean, my eyes are wide open here. This officially confirms the drafting of Zach Wilson was a disaster. You don't choose somebody 2nd overall in a draft and then 2 seasons later supplant him with somebody else. Now, the somebody else is very significant, obviously. But somebody who's pushing 40, that's one way to describe Aaron Rodgers. I would say that's a negative way of describing his acquisition. But when you're saying there's a former 2nd overall pick who you're hoping to be the next Broadway Joe, Zach's 5th Avenue, and it turns out to be, that didn't work out at all, and there's no way we're going into the season with this guy in year 3 because that's a barbarian at the gate called the Jets fans, and they're not going to stand for it, and that's the barbarian at the gate called the 2023 schedule that includes the AFC West, our division, NFC East, and also includes name it, Mahomes, all of it. Go down the list of all the other quarterbacks. Yeah, you can't go into a season with Zach Wilson right there. Can't do that. Jalen Hurts, Cowboys, what? Can't do it. Won't do it. Aaron Rodgers is available? Oh. So we'll set the whole thing up for him with a receiver that will sign for him. And the offensive coordinator that coordinated his last 2 MVP seasons. Oh, and we've got the reigning offensive and defensive rookies of the year, and Quinnen Williams, who is so damn good. Aaron Rodgers knows who he is because Quinnen Williams sat in his lap in Lambeau Field last year like Aaron Rodgers was a Santa Claus in a mall. Which is my point. I don't care about the draft picks. I don't care. I don't.
Now you don't care.
I don't care.
Now you don't care.
No, I don't care, and I won't care later on either. All right? And I know what your point's going to be, because we need to see what this trade looks like, how the Jets are going to play, and they've got to make the playoffs, because the point of making this trade absolutely is the fact that I am sick and tired, as is Woody Johnson and anybody else who's in the Jets world, of seeing one quarterback after another just flop. Last 10 seasons, the quarterback with the most starts is Sam Darnold. 13-25 he went. Geno, Fitz, Zach, McCown, Flacco, Mike White, Bryce Petty. Get out of here. And then on top of it, the offense has been so terrible. Honestly, last 10 seasons, every metric, points per game, yards per play, red zone touchdown percentage, passer rating, last. Guess what they won't be this year? Last. Their offense last year, in the last parts of the season, to keep using the word, was so damn dark, even Rodgers' cave was lighter. Out. Gone. See ya. It's worth it. It's worth it. A big-ass swing. Yeah, you got to take it when there's Mahomes and Burrow and Allen, just to name three. And we assume Lamar. And there's Deshaun, who's not going to have a full season. And there's also Russ with a new coach, and Justin Herbert and Tua. You got to take your swing if you can, and the Jets just did. Look at their schedule coming up this year. They're going to be on national television all over the place. Choose it. Choose it. First week of the season. Rodgers at Dallas? You want to go that way? Sure. First week of the season. Rodgers welcoming Jalen Hurts? Do it. Let's go. Herbert, Mahomes are all coming to New Jersey. So is Allen. Could be C.J. Stroud for the Texans. The Giants. Are you kidding me? Jets, Giants? This is exactly. You got to show up in Denver. Watson. You got to go to Deshaun Watson again. I bet you they won't put the elf on the field again, or they'll just cover Corey Davis this time. Look, I'm telling you this. You got to take your swing. Because Zach Wilson wasn't cutting it. The alternative wasn't good at all. So Rodgers, the floor is Favre's 9 wins and all the other crap that went on off the field that I assume Rodgers isn't going to do. Let's go. I'm in.
You're in because you have no choice.
Of course I have no choice. Just like you have no choice with your quarterback. Like, let me tell you this, Chris.
This isn't about me.
Oh,
though.
It is.
Well, how? This is about you suddenly thinking you're a Super Bowl team.
I don't think we're a Super Bowl team. I think we are a playoff team that can contend for the Super Bowl.
If you don't make the AFC Championship game, this is an utter disappointment.
I don't know. It depends on how long Rodgers plays. And that's the other part of this thing, too. It's a total mystery. It's a total crapshoot. It is an absolute roll of the dice. But all it is what? You cost yourself 2 slots in the first round this year.
And $60 million.
A second rounder, whatever. That's Woody's money. And then they converted into X, Y, and Z. I read today it's $13 million on the cap for this year. There'll be a credit card down the road. Whatever. Because facts. You're going into this year with everybody that you got. You're bringing them back. It's a top 5 defense. We can argue that. And you got Aaron Rodgers hooked up with the coordinator who he adores. He's got his receiver who they got just for him. Okay? He's coming into a new spot. And how long he plays? Hey, Aaron, you want to be in the same realm as Brady? Let's win a championship in New York City. And you play till you're, early 40s. Significantly well. Stay in shape. The AR8 system. Let's go. Stick around. Because these kids are young and they are hungry and they are psyched for you to come. Let's roll. The alternative was no bueno. No bueno. And in this AFC, you need to have somebody who can compete. And Rodgers, will he fall apart because he's pushing 40? I don't know. Willing to try. And next year's first, will it suck when I'm sitting on the clock and if the Rodgers has already left or it was an 8-9 season or 10-7 season and all the things that were going wrong in Green Bay are now going wrong in New York and they own that and there's a big fat credit card bill coming and, the Jets are sitting at home watching the Packers choose 10th overall with their pick. That would suck. Worth it, though. Worth it. Worth 2 spots in this year's draft in the first round and a second rounder you weren't going to really use anyway. You sent Elijah Moore away. You made your bed with everybody else as your receiving core. You still got your second round pick right behind him. You weren't going to use it anyway. Out the door. Worth the roll of the dice on behalf of a fan base that is so sick and tired of getting kicked in the LeBron James crown jewels like Dylan Brooks is flipping his hand at you. Done with it. So let's ride. Let's go. That's my opinion.
Good luck.
No, you don't. Now you don't believe it. Now you don't. Honestly, would you rather be in my position or yours as an AFC East fan?
Mine.
Why?
Because the list of people who have had successful seasons at over the age of 40 is 2. It's Tom Brady and Brett Favre. That's it. In the history of the NFL. Aaron Rodgers didn't look good last year. And I just don't think it's going to go well.
Okay.
New team, new receivers. He didn't even like having new receivers last season. It took 8-10 weeks to get on the same page with some of these guys.
I think the Jets receiving core this year is better than the one that he had last year.
Yeah, but it's not a talent issue. It's getting on the same page. It's chemistry. It's cohesion.
Well, at least they made the trade, so they've got months to do it. This won't be happening in the middle of the training camp season.
Yeah, perhaps. Is he going to show up to OTAs and mini camps?
Oh, yeah. He will. He'll be there.
I don't know how you could say that 100%. You have no idea.
Well, you know what? I don't know. And I sure hope he does, because this is a golden opportunity, because you are not the only human being on the planet saying what you just said. And Rodgers needs to hear that. I assume he's hearing that. He hears everything that's said about him, I think. And I think he is definitely sensitive to subject matters that question his abilities. And last year did not finish well for him. His Packer career is now over. He is now starting in a new spot. And the Jets team that he inherits is way better coaching roster-wise than the one that Favre inherited. And the Packers quarterback that the Jets are inheriting now, way better and in better shape than the one that the Jets inherited in 2008. And that, all of it, so much better than the alternative, which is, well, they just couldn't pull off the deal. Well, Rodgers' intentions changed. Well, 49ers swooped in. Well, it's Zach Wilson anyway.
But you're also
Against
getting a
that
guy,
schedule. No thanks.
The schedule is very difficult. But you're also getting a guy who admittedly was 90% retired 2 months ago.
Okay. I know. It's a danger, but it's
That's
better roll of the dice.
That's a crazy headspace to go from I'm retired to maybe let's just keep playing because I want to spite this other team that tried to trade me and
we'll
get rid
find
of me.
out. We'll find out. I sure hope he wants to sit there and play till like he's 40, 41, 42, get another contract, finish up, keep things going, keep playing with the Jets. I sure hope so. And I sure hope that he you're right. It's a very rare situation for somebody to be 40 plus and perform well at the quarterback position. Maybe he's the next one. Worth the swing. Absolutely worth the swing. Hugely worth the swing. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.